Hey guys, good morning, it's the name, and Majora's Mask 3D is the game. In last episode, we ascended to Stone Tower, and we got here to Stone Temple, my favorite dungeon of the game. And in this episode, we are going to take on said favorite dungeon of the game. Right off the bat, plenty of enemies to take care of. A dragonfly, the most creatively named enemy of all the series. Well, we are going to grab our hookshot, I guess? No, let's grab our arrows. Let's not be stingy. So, I should mention that I have 3 fairies and lots of supplies. An easy way you can do that, which I unintentionally did, is I saved, quit the game, and then came back. And every time you do that, those pots over there will replenish, and they have bombs, arrows, I want to say magic as well, and a fairy. So you can fill up there by just getting stuff, saving, reloading the game, and yeah, that's about that. So I have 3 fairies. I probably don't need 3 fairies, and you probably won't either. If you don't have the magic upgrade, I would recommend coming in here with a green potion, but if you have it, then I really wouldn't worry about it. And as well, if you don't have the defense upgrade or a lot of hearts, then you definitely want to come in with some fairies, because we have some challenging, but some very cool enemies in this dungeon. This dungeon has, in my opinion, one of the coolest mechanics of any dungeon in this game. It has the coolest enemies for sure, and just a really cool atmosphere. So I'm very, very excited to take it on today. We're only going to be taking on the first half of this episode, as you might expect, but the only reason why I say that, which by the way, lots of stuff over here for you. The only reason why I say that is I normally record both episodes, like the entire dungeon in one sitting, but I'm not going to be doing that today. Just because it was a very convenient save point later, but anywho. What is it that I'm supposed to do? I'm forgetting what to do right off the bat. I want to say we want to shoot this eye right here. Indeed, my memory is correct. Now, if you had the bunny hood, or actually the Zora's mask can do the same thing, you can just hop on across that way. Otherwise, you could also hookshot onto the chest. That's another option for you. But open it up for Stray Fairy number 1. Man, I'm so excited to go through this dungeon. There's just so many cool things that we have coming up. One of my favorite mini bosses as well, which we're going to see in this episode, and a really cool enemy too. I'm just really excited, but anyways, after you get that stray fairy right there, go off to this door to the left. Which I have to say, I think the patterns in the doors are really cool. You have this sun rising at the bottom and then like a red sun rising at the top. It's pretty interesting. There's lots of bomb chews, as always. Just defeat them by, you know, holding up your shield. And over here, you're going to see a cracked wall. You know what to do. Ignore your bombs because they're obsolete. Put on your blast mask and boom. Now, this room was different in the Nintendo 64 version. In the Nintendo 64 version, there were small crates back here which you could place on the switches. But that's different in this version of the game, in the 3DS version if you're playing along, which there are a lot of very, very subtle differences in this dungeon between the Nintendo 64 and the original version of this game. More so than the other dungeons of this game, I want to say. I mean, there's just a lot of random little changes. Which, by the way, I want to point out. You might say, Cameron, why is there a treasure chest on the ceiling? We can't grab that. Well, you will see soon enough, my friend. So, first thing you want to do is, like I said, blast that wall right there and grab this, I almost said this treasure chest, grab this block and push it over this way. You might just think we can stand on it, but all will be made clear soon, I promise you. Push it on in, and you're going to want to have all of your masks, except for the Deku mask, equipped. I like to, oh, apparently I'm wearing the blast mask right now. Let's take that off. So I had to press B and explode. I like to put the transformation mask on the 1 and 2 buttons on the touch screen. That just is it's convenient for me, personally. Come over here to this regular size switch, and it doesn't matter what form you use to play the Elegy of Emptiness, but you want to leave a statue here. As well on the other, whoa, that's a really weird pattern that's forming around me. Why is it doing that? That was weird, and I don't know why that was a thing. It looked like a chestnut or something. I don't know, that was kind of weird. Speaking of weird. Anywho, we're gonna save that one for last. There's one right over here. Again, ignore the bomb shoes, they're very annoying. Let's turn into a Zora for this one right over here. Which, by the way, I should mention that I practiced through this dungeon, or the first half, on my 3DS XL, and it is so much easier to play this game on the 3DS XL, in my opinion. I mean, at least when it comes to playing the ocarina. I mean, it was so, like, I was able to play the Elegy of Emptiness in like half a second flat, and it was not a problem at all. But just because I don't want to say I have like large hands or anything. Oh, that was weird. I don't want to say I have large hands or anything, but I definitely don't have small hands. And the 3DS is kind of small if you think about it, so the XL just fits my hand size a lot better. So it's just a lot easier to play. I just feel like I'm kind of fumbling over my own fingers when I'm playing on the regular size DS. But you want to make sure you're a Goron for this last switch, because Zora Link or regular Link will not have the weight to press down the switch, and neither will that block, because there's a ledge across all of these switches, so the only switch that you can hit with a block is that one right over there. So that's what you're going to want to do. After that, you're going to want to roll off into the new area and face our favorite enemy. Oh, actually, I didn't know that I could kill you. Wow, that was really cool that I killed you and didn't have to whip out my arrows or anything. Way, how I love this. No, they're awful. So if you slash this grass over here, you're not going to get bombs. That's different from what I was practicing. I was going to say you're going to get bombs, which will hint to you as to what you need to do next, but I guess not. You do need the blast mask or bombs right over here. You're going to see a crack in the floor. That's pretty obvious. Go ahead, equip your blast mask. I just can't do anything today, apparently. Blow that up. And you can either be civilized and go down the stairs over there, or you can just drop on down. Now, another reason why I really, really love this dungeon. In previous ones, and it makes sense that this is the case too, you primarily used only one transformation mask. However, here in the last dungeon of the game, we have all three. So this dungeon uses all three of them in completing it, which I think is awesome, because it just shows the creativity that they had when laying out this place and coming up with the puzzles that they did. So, new enemy right here. That's an Armos. It was masquerading as a statue. Typical, no worries, just stay calm and watch its movements. So the best way to do this is, well, really, I mean, Goron Link is a good way to do it. Oh wait, I was afraid for a second that they were going to like blast me like up the stairs, which I never really took a moment to look at Goron Link when he's at least not in this version of the game, when he is crouched down, because his head just looks kind of weird. He looks like almost like a what's the enemy I'm thinking of? A Lizfulse? I'll correct myself on the screen if I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's an interesting pattern. But anyway, so you're gonna want to kill all of these over here. These guys as well, they're not statues, they are Armos. But after you deal them enough damage, you're going to start spinning, and they're gonna be red, and then they'll blow themselves up. So, I mean, a good way to defeat them is just to punch them once, then crouch in Goron Link form, and then just ground pound, and then kind of get out of the way. So you're gonna see some light coming down from the ceiling now that we blasted that hole into the ceiling of this room and the floor of the previous room. Transform into Hylian Link, get out your mirror shield, and shine your light. And as well, these two right over here. Now this is another very random difference between the Nintendo 64 version and this version of the game. In the Nintendo 64 version, only 4 of the 6 statues that were in this room were Armos. In this version, all 6 of them are Armos. I mean, there's just so many tiny, subtle little changes. You wonder why they were even necessary? At least in my opinion. I mean, I don't think that really needed to be changed, so to speak. But anyways, you found the dungeon map. This is going to be very useful because as much as I love this temple, I gotta be honest, it's very confusing. Especially your first time playing through. But it's confusing, but cool. Unlike Great Bay Temple, which is just confusing. I mean, I don't know, that's just my opinion. But anyways, I'm gonna stop hating on Great Bay Temple because I do that enough already. You're gonna want to equip your hook shot up here. And this is very hidden, which I think is cool. Look on up, and you're gonna see a target to hit onto, or to latch onto. Climb on up for Stray Fairy number 4? No, that's Stray Fairy. It just told me on the screen, but I actually wasn't looking at my 3DS. I was looking at my notes, so I don't even know which Stray Fairy it is. That was Stray Fairy number 2, it must have been. No, I don't want to look at my ocarina. I want to look at my gear. Okay, there you go. I don't know why I didn't check that first. Yeah, you have to hit the map button and then you can see how many stray fairies you have. Okay, 2. Gotcha. Very cool. All right, well, now that we're done with that, let's roll on up to the original room, or I guess walk on up since we are just a regular old Link right now. After obtaining that small key, we can go through this door right over here. Just ignore the dragonflies. So this room is very different from the Nintendo 64 version of the game, so if you're playing along in that version, things are going to be a little bit different in here. I apologize, but here is the second transformation mask we have to use in this dungeon. Now we're going to use the Zora mask to swim on through. I just think it's really cool how it utilizes all 3 of those. I mean, because even like Great Bay Temple, even though at that point we had all 3 transformation masks, it didn't really make all that much use of the other 2 masks. I mean, occasionally we use the Deku mask, and I think maybe once or twice we use the Goron mask, maybe? I don't know. I can't really remember. It's been a while, but yeah, this dungeon uses all of them, and it's just great. It's really satisfying, and very fitting for the final dungeon of the game, I've got to say. You can break these boxes over here, or walk into them if you want to, and just kind of chill out in the middle of them. I didn't know you could do that. There's magic and whatnot in there for you if you want to grab that. And over here, actually, the easiest way to do this is to just get out your Deku mask and float on across. Because you can do a dolphin dive or dolphin jump as Zora Link. I almost said as a dolphin, as Zora Link onto this ledge, but it's just easier to hit the switch this way. And hop on over. I cannot talk still. Ah, man, my brain just hasn't been working well for these past few days. I know I've complained a lot about how much I've been working, but man, I've been working so much. And during my shift yesterday, my brain just was not even working. It was really bad. Anyways, come over here. Another example of how the bombs are obsolete. You're supposed to throw a bomb over this ledge, but why do that when you can just blast through it? So ignore the beam most because there's not really anything we can do with it quite yet. But just through this grating right here, blast, hit that switch. It'll form a treasure chest over there that we will be able to get later. But for now, let's drop on down. Which, one difference between the 64 version and this version of the game is in the 64 version, you weren't really able to climb up onto this ledge. Instead, you had to have this Dexy hand right here throw you onto the ledge. It's pretty interesting, I've got to say. But anyways, we can just ignore him right here. We just got to swim on through this little path that's below him. That sound of the Beamos was just so annoying. I mean, it sounded like a fly there for a moment. He just would not stop. Okay, so drop on down and kill all of these enemy skullfish. I am very annoyed by you. And if you kill these Biobabas over here, I believe that's what they're called, right? Tattle, can you please impart your knowledge on me? For once, I'm actually asking you to tell me something, please. Tattle? Okay, Tattle just doesn't want to give me information today, apparently, guys. Deku Baba? Oh, that's not fair. When I played this, when I did my practice run, I got 20 rupees from killing that. It's kind of disappointing. Oh well. Come over here to these spike mines, knock them on into each other, and hit the switch right here. More chests on the ceiling. Makes you wonder, why are the chests on the ceiling? All will be explained soon, my friends. So, ignore that, and ignore that light switch right there, too. And all of this stuff. There are some pots right over here if you are a little bit low on any supplies, so you can drop on down and grab these. I believe there's another ledge down there. Down over here, if you also need stuff. But otherwise, let's rise to the surface. Ooh, I was wanting to be cool and do the dolphin dive. I don't think I've actually shown that on camera, so let me try to do that. Let's see if I can time this out. There you go. Yeah, the dolphin dive is always very satisfying. But transform back into your regular form. Let me equip the bunny hood. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to unequip that. And this is a mechanic of this dungeon that we have not seen yet. So you're gonna want to shine your light with your mirror onto that, well, with your mirror shield onto the mirror over there. You're gonna see it's not shining any light right now, but it's glowing. So after you shine on it for a little while and you stop, it'll start re-emitting the light that you have shined on it originally. And you're gonna want to use that light to hit the switch right over here. Or this block, I guess I should say. So, the light from our mirror shield is so bright that not even sunblock can have anything to do with it. Right? I mean, because there's a sunblock. I'm funny. Okay. Alright, compass. I guess that'll be useful. What the? That was weird. His butt, like, only his butt was showing through the treasure chest. It was just like his butt was just jiggling around there for us. And I didn't know what was going on. That was weird. Okay, don't go through that door right there, as tempting as it might be. Instead, we want to go over this way and use our key to unlock this door right over here. Let's see if I can get some magic or some hearts or something. There you go. Alright, this room. Very cool. There are black bows here which are pretty annoying, but I want to show this off. I don't want to kill you the regular boring way. I want to show the interesting way of killing you. Which, by the way, I just want to show that when you punch these blocks, they just disappear into nothingness. Yeah, it's so weird. Okay. Alright. Hylian form, mirror shield, black bows, take my light. You can just kill them with light itself. I don't know why the light has come from your mirror shield and not just the sun itself. Maybe it's a more concentrated form of light, I don't know. But anyways, so you can see these little eye switches on the wall. We are gonna wanna hit those. If you hit most of them, this is what's gonna happen. They're just gonna catch on fire and disappear. No biggie, nothing really happens. But if you hit this one right over here, now let's see if I'm still on track. This should be Stray Fairy number 5, right? If it's not, then I'm either confused or missing one. Wait, number 3! Oh, okay, yeah, I was confused. I just looked at my notes again, and I am fine. Okay, I was very concerned that I had missed something. Alright, well. So, the mechanic that we saw a moment ago is back once again. You can see a lot of mirrors in this room. We're going to want to shine on this one right here. Not all that long, but I should mention the longer you shine on a mirror, the longer it will emit light. It's like you're charging it up, so to speak. So, you know, charge it up as long as you need. Nejiron, why are you here? You are very annoying. Don't attack me while I'm transforming. Black bows, yeah, this is very annoying enemies in this room. Imposter enemies of that. Okay. Very cool, which by the way, I don't think I've ever really pointed this out, but Goron Link, when he's curled up and he's rolling, his face, like, his cheeks are just so chubby and squishy over his eye. It's just really funny, and I wanted to point it out, and his lips too. Anyways, over here, Stray Fairy number 4. Alright, now this is where the mirror puzzles get a little bit more interesting. See, let's transform into our regular form, and we're gonna want to charge this mirror up pretty well. You're gonna want to spend a little bit of time doing this, because not only are we charging up the mirror to shine on something, but we are charging up the mirror to charge up another mirror so we can shine on something. So we need to give this one a little bit of extra light. Maybe wait a few more seconds. And, you know, give yourself as much time as you need. And as soon as you charge one of them up... Oh, wow, this is not going well for me. Immediately begin charging up the other one right over there. Now, these black bows can be a little bit annoying. If you find yourself having a lot of trouble with this room because you're shining light and one of them sneaks up behind you and deals you damage, and it ruins your flow, then, you know, go through and kill them all first if that's the problem that you're having. But you shouldn't have that problem just because they die to light and you're shining light. But that is an option for you if you need to do that. So, after doing that, more lovely Nejirons. Please just come towards me so I can kill you both at once! Ha! Satisfying. And to leave bombs behind. Which kind of makes sense because their enemy description says that, ooh, red rupee, thank you very much. I got the red rupee that I wanted earlier but never got. Because their enemy description says that they smell like a bomb powder, or blast powder, so it kind of makes sense. Alright, this room over here. Very cool. I like this room a lot. So, which really small difference right here between the original version and this version. The air that's coming up has this really cool, like, embers that are flying around in it. I like that texture that was added. That's very cool. Just small little detail right there, but I really appreciate it a lot. So drop on down as a Goron, and you're going to want to go and pound the switch right here. Now, this can be quite frustrating. This is not the easiest thing to do at all, because you need to navigate through this area rather quickly, and you're going to need to roll in order to do so. And it's very easy to bounce off the wall and get off track and then have to do that all over again. But we hit that switch so the fire around this switch would go down so that we would be able to hit it. But it is timed. So take as many attempts as you need in order to get that. That's not necessary. That is for a stray fairy. But I'm assuming that if you're watching and you're playing along with this, you're probably going to want to do 100%. Maybe. I don't know. So you do have to do that. But my tips are, don't charge up all the way where you have the spikes coming out. Just kind of roll around and, don't worry about going too fast. Don't worry about going at max speed while you're rolling. Just take your time, but make sure you're rolling, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which, by the way, I don't think we've ever seen this on camera before, but oh my goodness, Goron Link when he climbs just looks really weird. His hat covers half his body now, his legs start looking really, really stubby, and he looks a little bit more built up top. I don't know, it looks really weird. Just to see him climbing this flimsy ladder, it just doesn't really look all that natural. But, anywho. Here comes in the Deku mask and its official use in this dungeon. Let's put that where the hookshot once was. And you might think it's suicide just to fly out over the lava as a piece of wood when we have a limited flight range, but these air blasts right here will recharge your flight, so to speak. So we can use those to get around this area. So collect these rupees right here and open this chest for stray fairy number 5. Very cool. Okay, now we're gonna want to hop back down as not Human Link, but as Goron Link, which, by the way, I didn't know that this happened in this game until I was practicing for this dungeon. I found it really amusing. If you roll off as Goron Link into the air, he will float. As heavy as he is, he will float, and I meant to uncurl because the animation of just like Goron Link just floating in air when he's not in a ball is just really weird and amusing, but oh well, that's fine. Just take my word for it, it's funny. But after you climb back up the ladder, now we're actually going to want to get around this room like we're supposed to. And just use these blasts to get around. You're going to just barely be able to make it to each one, so it might take you a few attempts. You can use those ledges if you get stuck, but it's kind of hard to get off from those ledges back into the blast without falling into the lava. So I recommend not even trying to use them as a pit stop, just use the air blast and just cut corners where you can. Now this one right here is kind of difficult to get to, I'm not gonna lie. It will help you if you use Z to change your camera angle to get things straightened up once again. Right here, for some reason the controls are inverted. Right is turning me left, which is weird, but you're going to want to make sure you're facing the right direction so you're going to be able to get around to this next air blast without traveling further than you need to and falling into the lava as a result. But after you make your way around, open this chest right over here for stray fairy number 6. It's really cool that they're golden. I just think that's it's a neat color for a fairy. But anywho, see anything useful? Nope, just green rupees. The game's like, Cameron, you have enough rupees already. Just deal with it. Alright, I am very excited to take this on. Tell me that is not the coolest thing ever. Like, oh my gosh. You come on in and there's a big opening in the room and just like, with the purple sky above, you just see this dark shadow just looking down at you, and then an ominous laugh. That's just... Anyways, that's the Goron Master, the Garo Master. You can't fight him just like an ordinary Garo and just dodge those swords. You might think if you wear the Garo Mask, something interesting will happen. Unfortunately, nothing really happens. So, he is more tough than the regular Garo, for sure. So, like Hal said, you're going to want to avoid his attacks. Definitely make use of your shield right here, because he deals quite a bit of damage, and if you don't have the defensive grade in a lot of parts, this can be a really challenging fight for you. This is one of the main reasons why I recommended that you bring in fairies. So, now that I'm done explaining, we can actually get to the battling. So, what I recommend doing is... Okay, I'll re-explain it in a moment. When he dodges for you, have your shield up and then side jump out of the way, and he's gonna do this attack where he will fly up into the sky and then land right on top of you. Whenever you see him shrink up and fly up into the sky like this, just run. Because it's kind of hard to really counter strike, what's the term we're looking for? It's hard to counter that attack is just all I'm saying. So the best thing that you can do is just run out of the way, go behind him, and he's gonna look like, hey, where are you? And then just do a spin attack or a jump attack to deal as much damage as possible. So I'm trying to just show off the main thing. Okay, yeah. It's not really working like I wanted it to. Wait for him to dodge towards you and side jump twice. Wow, he's just too close to me right now to really show it off. And he's not gonna let me do it either, wow. Okay, so he's only dealt 1 heart of damage to me, which isn't really all that bad at all, but if you're playing the, if you're playing the original version, if you don't have the defense upgrade, that would be 2 hearts for you. Alright. Wow, I'm trying to show you guys what works so well for me in practice, but he's making me out to be a liar. I'm just too close to him right now to show it off. There you go. That's what I was trying to show off right there. Just side jump twice, and then go in for the jump attack. That way you can deal a lot of damage. And then he'll teleport, not really, but he'll fly above you, run, and then just do a spin attack. Think I could be defeated. Although you are my rival, you are spectacular. I shall take my final blow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. If you shoot that which burns with the sacred golden light into the glowing red emblem outside the temple, the world shall be rearranged so that the earth is born in the heavens and the moon is born on the earth. Do not forget these words. Die I shall, leaving no corpse. I just want to point out, I don't think that the regular Garo, you could quite see this. Maybe I'm wrong, but here he's very clearly showing he has a bomb in his hand. He's going to die without leaving a corpse, and then... that is the law of the Garo. He blows himself up right in front of Link. I'm so close! Okay. I got so excited there for a second. When I was practicing this episode, excuse me, I just happened to be right on the spot where the chest spawned, and it was so funny to happen in the cutscene. But I was just a little bit off. That was very disappointing. Man. Oh well. Regardless, we get a really cool item. The light arrow. Or arrows. It's an ability. The sacred light of justice resides in these arrows. Aim true to slay evil and light the way. So, what he told us. Aim the golden light at the red emblem, and then the heavens will be born into the earth, and the moon shall be born into the earth. Something like that. Anyways, basically things would be opposite as they are. So, exit through the door. And this room right here, if you fall down, you can just hookshot back up, no biggie. You can hookshot on to that right there. But you're going to want to climb on up this and hop on across for a variation of an enemy that we've seen in the past. It's a hip loop. I love that enemy name so much. Anyways, you're gonna need to equip your hookshot for this because they have a mask on which makes them pretty much impenetrable. So, impenetrable is not the word I was wanting to use. Oh, wow, he knocked me off. Okay, that's fine, I guess. I guess it's an opportunity to get some rupees. He's invincible. There you go, not impenetrable. I don't know why I chose that word. Anyways, after you take off his mask, wow, he is just giving me a hard time today. Wow. Okay. Let's try this again. That is quite a way to hookshot up. Okay, well, since he's just kind of ledge guarding, we'll kind of give him what was coming for him. There you go. Very weak enemy. And he drops 3 hearts, which is pretty useful. So, we're back in the bridge room that we saw earlier, right here. This is an enemy you might have glanced at, but we weren't able to reach earlier. This guy's really cool. This is one of the enemies I was talking about earlier that I said is just a cool enemy. It's an Igor. Simply attacking it's no good. I say you should pay attention to the subtle changes in its eye. So what you're going to want to do is lock onto it and wait until you get close enough for him to attack, and then shoot him in the eye with either an arrow or your hook shot. Don't wait too long when you're in his range of attack, or otherwise, you know, he will attack. And after a little while walking this way, he'll back towards the door that he was guarding. So yeah, do a backflip before he attacks, and then hookshot him in the eye. Wow, all the enemies just love making me out to be a liar in this episode. And it's possible you might get hit by his rocks, but really, they don't really deal all that much damage, and it's just kind of luck as to whether you get hit or not. But just rinse and repeat. And yeah, that's just a really cool animation for an enemy to die. He just collapsed and boom. I don't know. I just like that a lot. But after you defeat him, you will get a treasure chest containing... Link, stop moving so fast! Stray Fairy number 7. So we're approximately halfway done with all the Stray Fairies. And as you're about to see, we're about to the halfway point of this temple. Okay, so we're back in the original room that we saw earlier, just entering in a different way. Ignore the bomb shoes and the dragonflies, unless they try to knock you off the ledge. Please don't do that. And we're going to want to exit. So the Garo Master gave us a hint about a red emblem. If you remember seeing this red gem when we first entered, this is what he was referring to. Shoot it with light, he said. We now have light arrows. So, before I do this, I want to mention that this is different in the 3DS version. It's a lot more straightforward in this version of the game. In the Nintendo 64 version, you need to... Oh, it's been so long. Oh my goodness. You need to come out and then hit a switch, which will then make the emblem appear, and then you get to shoot it from one of these blocks, I believe. Different in this version of the game. You just walk out and the emblem's already showing for you. You don't need to worry about it. So, I'm going back and forth on what I should do to show this off. I want to shoot this while standing over here, or I might want to shoot it while standing over here. I don't know which will be more interesting. I want to do it while standing over here. Actually, can I? Never mind. Okay. All right. You guys will see why I was going back and forth on that. Well, shoot the emblem with light. And as the Garo Master said, the heavens and the earth have swapped places. If you look down, you're looking at the sky and clouds if it were daytime. And also there's an inverted theme, or there's an inverted version of the dungeon theme that's now playing. And also Link, his hopping noises only out here for some reason are changed. I'm gonna be quiet so you can listen to the music and also listen to the inverted sounds of Link. It's really weird. And there's the moon down there. You can just barely catch a glimpse of it, but yeah, the moon is below us. Really weird, but also really cool. And the temple itself is flipped upside down. Everything we've explored has pretty much just been undone. We're now looking at everything on the flip side. So, with the save point right here in this version of the game, this is a great stopping point. So next time, let's play Majora's Mask 3D, and we're going to take on the second half of Stonehead Temple. I've been Camerani, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys back here next time. Goodbye, guys.